horse friends, I'm Becca Salamone, and this is Southern Horse Talk. I'm so excited to have on the line with me today a couple of great folks in the horse world. Excuse me. Y'all probably recognize Sydney Englund from HorseCrazyGirls.com. I interviewed her not too long ago, and that's on the Southern Horse Talk YouTube channel. And please, when you go over there, go ahead and hit that button and subscribe to it so you can get updates. But I liked Sydney so much, I said, why don't you come and do a segment on Southern Horse Talk every month and interview some of the people that you work with through HorseCrazyGirls.com. So here we are, and this is our first segment, and I'm just really glad that you're here, Sydney. Welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so she brought along an author from Canada. She is she's written several series of books, and she's I believe one of hers is going into a TV series soon. Her name is Mirwee Garson, and she has written Blaze of Glory was the first one. Is that right, Mirwee?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and then Sydney's going to talk to you some more about the book, so I won't ask too much. But I welcome you to the show. I'm really glad you're here today, and we're looking forward to learn all about you.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to Sydney. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so a lot of our girls on our site, obviously they write their own horse stories, and so how was your journey from writing this book to getting it published, and then obviously you are trying to turn it into a TV series, so sort of give us the rundown on that whole progress.
Oh boy, okay. That's a kind of a long progression. Interestingly, I worked with horses for a number of years, and then I changed careers and was working in the business world, had nothing to do with horses. And I had always sort of thought in the back of my mind, maybe I'll write a book one day, maybe a memoir, but there was no urgency to that. I just thought I would do it when I got around to it. And then I had kids, became a single parent, went from working, 40, 50 hours a week to working 24 hours a day. My kids were 2 and 4. I was a single parent at that point. So at the very worst possible time in my life, the muse came to visit me and said, no, you need to write this story now. Now. And I have a very demanding muse who doesn't take no for an answer. So essentially, I had no choice. The demand was made. I had to, for about a good 10 months, I did nothing but write every single moment when I could. And my kids were sleeping like 5 minutes at a time. Like, that's what it felt like, honestly. Like they didn't sleep more than 10 minutes a day. So basically, every time I could snatch a few minutes, I would scribble things down and get out little bits of the story. And 10 months later, Blaze of Glory was born.
Wow.
Fantastic. That's really good. So did you self-publish, or do you have a publishing company?
I have a publisher. I'm actually on my second publisher. Right now I'm with a very small label out of Ontario, which is I kind of like, because I get some of the benefits that you would get self-publishing. Like I have more control over marketing and sales and pricing, but also some of the benefits of having a publisher.
Yeah, that's good. And then, so I know that your Blaze of Glory, obviously that's done very well, and you're starting to do a TV series. How's that going?
Well, the Blaze of Glory Trilogy, because it's, 3 books now, got optioned for TV by a company called Equestrian Universe. And they are, I don't know if you've ever heard the series Heartland. Mm-hmm. They're the creators of Heartland.
Okay.
So right now it's in the
early stages,
production phases. Yeah, it's not sold yet. So It's very exciting. My fingers are, all my fingers and toes are crossed for me to get that call that says, all right, we have a buyer, and it'll be really great to see it on screen.
Yeah, I know. I love those books. So when it comes out, I'll be binge watching it for sure.
Oh, thank you.
And then you also wrote a children's book and are doing a spin-off series, correct?
Yes. Well, I wrote with my children, who are now 9 and 11, and sleep more than 10 minutes a day. Yes. I wrote Awesome Possum,
okay,
which was about a boy, a 10-year-old boy, because, so many books in the horse world have female protagonists. Mm-hmm. And it's actually hard. If you have a boy who likes ponies, it's hard to go out and find books. Like there's the old Black Stallion series, and I believe my friend Flicka, they're all older.
Yeah.
So my son really wanted our main character to be a boy. So it's the story of a 10-year-old boy who meets a Canadian horse, because where I live, we're kind of the birthplace of the Canadian horse, and they're a breed that's still at risk. They were endangered at one point. At one point, there were only a few hundred left in the world. So we made, that our equine protagonist. And that book has actually also been optioned for TV.
Oh, wow.
So, and the sequel just came out. It's called Lemon Squeezy.
Okay.
Came out in December. And we are going to start a third book in that series soon. We're kind of waiting for the kids' schedule to slow down a little bit. And I'm in the middle of writing a spin-off to the Blaze of Glory trilogy.
Fantastic.
Sydney, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When you do the TV series for, the trilogy, will the series reflect everything that happens in the trilogy?
I certainly hope so, but I have no control over it. Because what happens when you option your rights is basically the producers now own the rights to the stories. So they can, I was warned when we were in the negotiation phases, that they could take my story of a family who lives on a horse farm and turn it into, people raising goats in space.
Oh, great.
I would have nothing to say about it. So I am in fairly constant contact with the producers, and it seems like they want to try to stay true to the story, so I can only cross my fingers and hope.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that hopefully it'll keep my fingers crossed as well, because I love those books, so if they keep it true, so it'll be a fantastic TV series. And,
thank you.
And so once again, obviously we have a lot of girls who write stories, so do you have any tips for them?
I think, it's incredible because I'm kind of happy that I didn't go online looking for writing advice before I started writing Blaze of Glory, because there is so much advice and a lot of it is conflicting. And I just sat down and I just sat down and wrote what I wanted, what came to me. And I think that's a good way to start. Just write what you're passionate about, write what you love, write what you would want to read if you were sitting down, and you have the rest of your life to work on learning technical skills, on improving your stories, on marketing, because authors end up spending so much time marketing their work. Mm-hmm. At the beginning, I think it's important to just, as Nike says, just do it. Sit down and do it.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so obviously, you have a great story. Obviously, all your stories are doing well. How did you come up with these characters and your plot and all that?
I think because the first story came to me, like I was so strongly inspired to write it. With the first one, I just sort of blurted everything out, and I got most of my characters that way. Mm-hmm. And in the two sequels, I was just able to, I did a lot more planning in the two sequels. Okay. But by then, because I had my main core of characters and I knew what the family dynamic was, it was kind of easier for me to develop characters to fit in. But the horses in Blaze of Glory they're all based on horses I've known, horses I've ridden, horses I've loved or struggled with. Mm-hmm. So that part was easy because, we all meet these equine personalities when we ride, and it's nice to put them down on paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have horses now, or was that when you were all back?
Yeah, sadly not right now. Now the only horses in our lives are the school ponies that my kids ride, and it's fun because I get to just go to the barn and groom them and stuff them full of treats, without having the responsibility. We'd like to. We'd like to, hopefully, maybe if the TV series gets on the air. Mm-hmm. But I think before I got a horse, now it would be my kids getting a pony because I get the daily requests,
Do they both ride?
I'm sorry?
Do they both ride?
They do, although my son's more interested in sort of just hanging out at the barn and petting the ponies. He's not, he runs hot and cold with the actual riding. My daughter's she's a pretty fierce little rider.
Okay. Do you have any more questions for her?
Yeah, well, I just want to go back to the point that you were making about, basically do what you love and the money will follow. That's kind of along the same line. Just talk a little bit about that because, I'm sure there'll be lots of little girls and boys listening to this and, you know, what they should do for their careers and inspiration that way because so many people end up in careers where they're just not enjoying themselves. And I think like you were saying before, if people would go after their passions, then things will work out better in the long run. So just speak to that for a minute.
I really believe that because, when I worked with horses, I absolutely, I lived and breathed what I was doing. And although I could have seen myself running into problems at a certain point, because, ethical dilemmas do arise as I guess in any industry. I really did love it, but I stopped because I had an accident, I had back surgery, I tried to go back to working with horses, I couldn't, I kept putting myself back in the hospital, and I was riding jumpers at the time I had this accident, and I wasn't able to come back. Mm-hmm. So I went into the business world thinking, okay, well, I went back to school, got a degree, got another degree. At that point, had a huge student loan that scared me. So I went and did a job I went to work on Bay Street, which is the Canadian equivalent of Wall Street, working for banks and investment companies and insurance companies. It was so not me. When I look around, in retrospect, I can see that I wasn't being true to myself because outside of work, my friends were all musicians and artists and writers. But I felt like I had to pay off the loan and pay the bills. And when I finally quit that and started writing, my entire personality blossomed. It was like waking up after a really long half asleep period. So I'm hoping that I can keep doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, you got a good start there. It's a good thing that muse whispered in your ear.
Certainly is. Thank you, sleep deprivation.
Yeah. So, a lot of people want to write books. I think that's a secret passion of a lot of people. At least it is for me. And they're afraid of the process. And, would someone like what I write? And even if they do like it, can I get somebody to publish it? But, with self-publishing, that kind of opens a lot of doors for folks. So talk a little bit about that too.
It certainly does. And I have several friends who have gone that route, who have self-published. Some spent years being rejected by traditional publishing, and some just went straight into self-publishing because they were just doing it for themselves. I have another friend who's a fellow horse person and parent, and she wrote a book and self-published it, and it's set in the horse world also, and she's perfectly happy, just never trying to pursue the traditional publishing. And I think that whatever makes you happy. But the point you brought up about the will people like it, that I don't think that ever really goes away. There's always that, because you're putting yourself out there.
Right.
I suppose it's true for any artist, but you're really putting a large part of yourself out there for the world to judge.
Exactly.
Not everyone is kind. Not everyone will just scroll past if they see something they don't like.
Yes, exactly. Now, what about, do you take moments, speaking opportunities to talk to horse clubs and groups of young folks and even adults about things like this?
Once in a while. I haven't done too much speaking. Other than, there's a pony club at our barn, so once a month I go in with and talk to the kids about pony club related things. Book signings, I've done a few interviews. I don't do a lot. I tend to like to hide behind my laptop alone at home. That's most comfortable.
Yeah, I think a lot of authors are that way.
Yes, I think we're introverts, most of us.
Yes. And maybe live vicariously through your characters in some fashion.
Yes, or relive old adventures.
Yeah. So Sydney, do you have any other questions that you want to ask?
I think we sort of summed everything up pretty well.
Okay.
I think we hit all our main points, so thank you.
Oh, good. I got one more question, then I'll let you go. The TV series, we're just kind of waiting for an answer from them, right? You don't have a date for when that's coming out, right?
No date whatsoever. I'm just waiting to hear, I suppose, whether they've sold it and when they start shooting. But I do post updates on my Facebook page to kind of let everyone know what's happening. So as soon as I hear anything, all my readers get to hear also.
Okay.
But it would be really great because, especially the children's series, my kids used to watch Saddle Club. Like they watched DVDs of Saddle Club, that Australian show.
Right.
I watched it.
Oh, and they watched that DVD. That DVD is worn out.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that the kids series could kind of fit into that slot, because it's for a similar age group. So I'm really hoping that someone picks that up because there's a void in the market now. There's nothing really for kids that's horse related, that's live action, at least as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't think there really is anything out there.
I really hope someone picks it up because my kids need something to watch, first of all.
There you go. So it'd be entertainment for all those horse crazy girls and boys.
Exactly.
So
we wanted to make it fair.
Yeah, definitely. So go ahead and share your web address and your Facebook, the title of your Facebook page.
All right. Well, the web address is www.mgarzon.ca because I'm in Canada.
Okay.
And the Facebook is just M Garzon.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's just M Garzon, and I think it says author. When you do the search.
All right. Well, that's great. And Sydney, share yours as well. One more time.
Okay, so ours is horsecrazygirls.com, and that's a www before that. And then our Facebook is just Horse Crazy Girls, and you can find that on our website, all our different platforms. And if you want to see M. Garzon's book and our review on our website, you can go to our book section, scroll down, find the title Blaze of Glory, and we'll have the review and the Amazon link so you can buy the book.
Awesome. That's important. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for y'all's time. And Sydney, do you have a preview for who would be coming on your segment next time?
Yes, we are currently lining up with a college expert, and once we have that cemented, we'll post that so you guys can see that on the website.
That's awesome. And again, if you guys will subscribe to the Southern Horse Talk YouTube channel, you can get updates on the upcoming shows. And just want to thank y'all again for joining us and telling us all about your horse life. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now also go over to the Southern Horse Talk Facebook group and join in the conversation over there. Share your horse story, your pics, and your videos, and just share the Southern equine lifestyle. All right. Thank y'all. We'll talk to you soon.